Brad Tragick video, and today I'm going to be talking about a movie review about a movie called Cold Deck. I watched this movie on Netflix the other night, and I like gambling movies. I like card movies. They're usually pretty good, and this one just caught my eye. And if you see me looking toward over here, I have little notes that I'm trying to read. Yeah. So this movie came out in 2015. The movie's called Cold Deck, and like I said, you can watch this on Netflix right now. It's currently on there unless it randomly goes off before you get a chance to see it. Um, but it has a guy. The main person on there is uh, Stefani Gallo is the main guy's name. As far as I know, I don't see anything that I've seen him in. He doesn't look very familiar. Is he the greatest actor in the world? I would say no. He's not the greatest actor in the world. I think he could do better. But the movie's not too bad. He doesn't do a bad job. You know, there's some times where you kind of wonder, like, how good an actor he really is, because some of the scenes are just kind of like blah, you know. But the dude that plays one of the guys that kind of is the, I don't know what you would call this. I don't know if you'd call it the protagonist or whatever, or the person who kind of has a lot of conflicts with him in the movie. The guy called Chips, and he's played by Paul Sorvino. I can't read that from here. Sorvino. I should have printed it out. But he's I'm trying to say he looks like more of an Italian descent, and he's been in some major movies. He was in Goodfellas and some other things. So you probably know him if you've seen. If you watch the Goldbergs, which I don't really watch the Goldbergs, I guess he played the Grandpa Pops or whatever in that movie, or in that show. So if you're wanting to know who he is, but he's been in other things too. I guess he was in Romeo and Juliet movie that came out in the mid '90s. And then the cool thing about this is the main villain, the guy that, well, I guess he's not really the villain, but I don't want to give it away in the story, but the person who does a lot of stuff near the end of the movie, who, you know, is the person he had a big conflict with because of Chips, is Robert Nepper, and he has a character by the name of Turk in the movie, and he is actually the guy that played T-Bag in Prison Break, and he's been in so many other things now. He was the Clock Keeper. Is that what it was? Clock Keeper in the Flash series and the Arrow series when the crossover happened. He played the Clock King. That's who it is. That's what it is. He played the Clock King. He was recently also on. I'm gonna blank on that. Chicago Fire. I think it's Chicago Med. I think when they did that crossover, he was, I believe, the arsonist. Because I saw the picture and I totally forgot that because my wife watches that show too, and I love that guy. Anyway, Robert Nepper, the guy plays T-Bag from Prison Break. That's where I know him from. So you guys may know him from other things, but like I said, he was the arsonist on there. He played a good bad guy, and he's been in, you know, he was in, I think, Grey's Anatomy one time. He was like, I don't know, he's been in like 1,000 things, and it's funny looking at his thing on IMDb because he's been acting since like a long time. Like he's been acting for a long time. Surprisingly, like now when I see him, I know who he is, but you know, it's surprising. But yeah, Cold Deck, definitely check it out. I think it wasn't a 5-star movie or anything, but it was a 3-star. It was a decent movie. It was better than most movies I've seen on Netflix. So it's up there with, you know, any decent movies that you've seen on Netflix. It's one of them. So it was a little bit better than your basic movie on Netflix. You know, the ending was kind of, you know, blah. It's one of those movies on Netflix where you watch it and it gets you all hyped up and you're thinking, hey, this is a pretty good movie. And then you get to the end and kind of an odd ending and stuff. And it's what it is. It acts like it wants to be a Rounders kind of a movie, but it just can't live up to that kind of hype, you know, because that's a hard movie to top. But yeah, check it out, Cold Deck. It's currently on Netflix. I'm sure later on it'll be on Hulu and some other things. Like I said, there's not very many big actors on there. There's a couple big actors on there, but it's more of a kind of a B-rate movie. But it's a pretty decent movie, so check it out. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about the movie Cold Deck. If you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it, down below. Let me know what you thought about it. Um, what would you give it on a scale of 5, or if you want to give it a letter grade, go ahead. I just prefer not to give it a letter grade. But anyway, that's been my review of Cold Deck, the movie, and see you later. Keep rocking.